Hello guys, it's Justcallmesir 900 here, and I'm here to introduce you to a new game called Dauntless. It's on the Epic Games launcher, you can download it for free, and it's free for everyone to play. And of course there's like a season's pass if you want to get that and get some like cool skins and cosmetic items. Nothing that kind of boosts the game, you actually need to play the game to grind out the gear that you want to get. So, not only is this game free, and you can download on the Epic Games launcher, it's cross-compatible. So that means you could play it on the PC or like computer, Xbox, or PlayStation. You could all play with your friends from those things because it's completely cross-compatible. So there are 6 weapons you could use in this. You can see on my character right now I'm using the chain blades. That's the kind of weapon that I like to use. But there's swords, hammers, chain blades, axes, spears, and guns. So of course, the swords, they have their special ability, just like the chain blades have their special ability. If you look in the right top thing, the green part is my life. The yellow part under that is my stamina, and there's this little thing about it with 4 glowing things. So that's my special ability. I can press Q to do my special ability. It makes me launch towards the enemy and then away from the enemy. With swords, it makes you do extra damage, and hammers, it shoots bullets out of the gun part of it because hammers also have gun parts in them and stuff like that. So everything has a different ability, and you're just going to have to kind of test and use the weapons to see which one you like the most. So honestly, guns are a little bit harder to use. I find they're the hardest to use, honestly, because you can't sprint with them while they're in your hands. Like I'm sprinting right now, you can't use that. You can't like sprint when they're in your hands. And also, they don't really do a lot of damage at far range. They're kind of like 3 to 4 damage at far range, and you have to be actually pretty close to them. But why not use a sword if you're going to be close to them the entire time with guns anyway? So this specific behemoth, his name is Screeve. He's an ice behemoth, as you can tell. So there are different types of behemoths in this game. There's the lightning, the grass, the neutral, and the ice, and the fire behemoths. As far as I've gotten, that's the only ones that I know of. I don't think there's any more kinds, but there could be. I have no idea. So, of course, you can see my character's wearing ice armor right now. I'm actually wearing the armor that you can get from this guy. So what you do is while you're fighting this guy, you're going to break pieces off of him. When you break pieces off of him, you use the pieces you break off of him to use to make weapons and armor out of basically his skin, and things that you break off of him for pieces. Just like with the weapons, hammers are actually easier to use to break pieces off of the animals. Like different weapons will do different things. Like hammers, you could break things off, you could break pieces off of him easier to make armor and stuff. With my weapons, it's just kind of more of damage and just kind of, and different parts of the body depends on what you hit. If you hit his legs, if you hit his tail, if you hit his face, depending on what you hit, you'll get different things. But so right now I'm wearing ice armor, and I have the fire weapons, which is effective against this guy because he's an ice behemoth. So if I'm wearing ice armor, his ice attacks will do less damage. And since I'm using fire weapons, since he's ice, fire's going to hurt a lot more. Same thing if you were fighting a fire behemoth, you'd wear fire armor, so it would do less damage, and you'd use ice blades. If you're fighting a grass behemoth, you'd use lightning swords and grass armor. If you're fighting grass behemoth, you'd use grass armor and lightning blades. I already said that. If you're fighting a lightning behemoth, you'd use lightning armor and grass blades. So that's how you would use it. So there's also a neutral behemoth, and of course the neutral ones, they have no weaknesses to anything. They're just kind of neutral behemoths. You just use kind of whatever weapon you want to use against them. So in this game, there's a couple of other things you could do. So you could craft items, of course, like weapons and armor and crap like that. You can also craft potions. So if you look in the bottom right of my screen, you'll see there's these 3 types of potions. So what you do is when you go to fight behemoths, you pick up these plants that you could find everywhere. And when you pick up these plants, you could craft potions out of them. The healing potions you get, you start off with those. The second ones, they do extra damage, and the third one gives you extra shield. So now we're going to talk about lanterns. So lanterns are on the top of the screen. It says press V to use. So this specific lantern does 2 different things, because you could build 3 different types of lanterns as far as I'm at right now. So you can press V, and the lantern will give you some shield right next to your green health bar. It will give you like a blue kind of line, or you could hold down V, and what will happen is you will actually start having rocks around you that are flying around. For the lantern that I have, that's what my lantern does. It makes rocks fly around your character. So as you look as we're hitting this behemoth, not sure if you can see too well, but you'll see these cuts all over him, these kind of like scars. That's when a piece breaks off, that happens. But you see all these scars all over him. The more cuts he gets, the more closer he is to dead. These scars will start turning blue, and that's when he's really close to dead. And you don't have to fight with a team. If you want to fight alone, you could go in alone. I'm just going to say it's going to be a lot harder if you go in alone to take on these bosses. So right now you can see that he's red around him. That means he's an enraged behemoth at this point. He's stronger in this form. He does a lot more damage. He's a lot more harder to hit because he kind of runs away and stuff. So behemoths do get enraged every once in a while. Sometimes they fly away and stuff like that. So you'll see on the right it says airship fuel remaining 24 minutes 49 seconds. That's how long you have until you run out of fuel and you kind of have to run away from the battle and you can't fight him anymore. Also on the top right you'll see 27%. When that gets to 100, you're not going to be able to kill him. It's going to be almost impossible. So you do have a time limit to kill these behemoths. And of course when you're breaking items off of them to craft the armor and stuff, like I just broke another piece right there, and those 3 things that flew out of him, that would just give you resistance to fire damage and stuff like that. But there's some pieces that are rarer than other pieces, of course, and you could think, well, maybe my armor can only get so good, but you could upgrade your armor with more things you get off patrols, which is just fighting these creatures that are patrols instead. So that's what happens when he dies. You can see on the left that he drops all these items. These are all the items you could use to craft. And when you're done, it will show you Screeve slain. So good job, you slain your creature. And it will show you all the items you got, and it will show you how good you did. So your rank was A+, your team rank was S+. The highest rank you get is S++, so these are all the items, and this is like Behemoth Mastery, Chainblade Mastery, and all the loot you get from it. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.